Hey guys, hope you're doing well today. So check this out, some hot off the press, pretty cool news. GM wants to make something a lot like the Ram that I have built here behind us, and I think this is good news for everybody. All right, so let's get to this. As I mentioned earlier, this is pretty excited for Chevrolet fans. GM is doing, I think, what a lot of people wanted them to do in the heavy duty truck segment a few years back, but they haven't, but they're answering what the customer wants. So in the last year, GM released the new ZR2 HD truck, which is absolutely awesome. If you're into wanting a heavy duty truck with the most capable off-road suspension in the market, they make that today. But for 90+% of the people, they're not really looking for a mono or for a Multimatic, very high-end shock. They're looking for something with a little taller lift, a little better shock, and something to put a taller tire in for whether they're, off-road needs, hunting needs, whatever the recreation is. And GM is now doing this. And what I want to share is this. So the 2025 Chevrolet Silverado HD, it's finally getting the Trail Boss. Why this is exciting to me? A few reasons. Number one, the ZR2 today and the HD only comes in a 2500. The AT4X only comes in a 2500. For a lot of us in the marketplace, we're wanting an HD truck that you can pull a fifth wheel, and the 2500s don't have enough payload capacity. If they're going to offer this in a 3500, this could be awesome. There's nothing like this really in the market. Ram has the Rebel, but the Rebel doesn't really offer a whole lot. Maybe the Trail Boss is a better value. What I want to kind of share in this, and this is all kind of hot off the press in the last 24 hours. This is obviously the first HD Trail Boss, but first thing I kind of want to show is if we go to GM's website, they're not talking about this yet. This is kind of some early leaked information. You can't get any early information on this yet, and you kind of talk about the new Tahoe. But what I want to first look at is, let's look at what a Trail Boss is. If you're not familiar with it, let's first look on a 1500. And I've got an LT Trail Boss next to an LT next to a ZR2. So you can kind of see two different off-road trucks, and I'll call a Trail Boss an off-road truck. It's really just a 2-inch lift kit with a little bit better shock, with a little bit better tire than their standard LT, but it's not as extreme as a ZR2. The ZR2 is capable, but not a lot of people want to spend the money that they are. So let's just look right off the bat and just kind of see engine options. In a 1500, you can get the 3-liter diesel, or you can get the 6.2-liter gas V8. But I'm just going to skip right to the most important part, or a few of the most important parts. In a standard 1500, you don't have a 2-speed automatic transfer case, but it's standard on the LT Trail Boss and the ZR2. If you see here in the middle, the LT doesn't have it. Now, here's the other thing I want to kind of share. Let's go to locking differential. This is where the LT Trail Boss has a locking differential, whereas the ZR2 does not. This is where it comes with a little bit different. It's a differential where you can actually select it on and off. It's not an automatic. So that's a little bit of a difference between a ZR2 and the LT Trail Boss. If we keep scrolling down here, I'm going to show you, let's see, right here. So right here, if we click on this right here, LT Trail Boss, you'll see standard is the 2-inch factory lift. And if you kind of click on this information, it talks about it's a Rancho monotube shop, gives you a little bit more ground clearance. If I had to guess, they're probably going to take that same sort of package and put it on the Z71 Trail Boss for the 2500. And you can see on the ZR2, it doesn't get that suspension. It gets the specific ZR2 suspension, which is the Multimatic DSSV shocks. These things are incredible. But for most people, they don't need this level of a shock. And for the cost of it, most people won't appreciate it. So now let's look at the 2500 segment. If we go on GM's website and just kind of compare ZR2 next to LT and kind of go down the same menu, what I want to kind of show you is a little bit different in a 2500 is look at the GVW of a 2500. It's a 10,450. For a LT non-ZR2. Now, if we go to a ZR2, it bumps the GVW 400 pounds. So I think GM recognizes that the ZR2 2500 adds some extra weight, so they made a special GVW for that truck, which is good for people that want that extra payload capacity in a 2500, which is good. But it still lacks the payload that most of us need for hooking up a fifth wheel. Now, if we keep going, What we don't really know is we see some leaked information that these will come on 20-inch rims, which is good. And you can kind of see right here in this picture, you get the red tow hooks from the ZR2, and you're going to get a little bit taller 20-inch tire. But we don't specifically know how much lift it's going to be, what type of shock they're going to be. But the good news is GM is trying to bring a truck to the market that's lower cost than a ZR2, and everybody's expecting this is going to be available on a 3500, which is exactly what guys that are looking at an HD truck want. And GM has answered. Now, here's a little bit of information on a 1500 Trail Boss. I just kind of wanted to go down and show you some of the specific features. In a Trail Boss custom, this is just a custom, it gives you a handful of different engine options. You can get, it looks like you can get the actual Turbo Max. I wasn't aware of that. I thought you could only get the 5330 and the 6.2. GM is only going to have the two options in the 2500. You're going to get the 6.6 gas or the 6.6 Duramax diesel. What's going to be interesting is I wonder if they're going to offer the Trail Boss like they do in the 1500. Are they going to offer it in multiple trim levels? If you get a ZR2 today, it's pretty much loaded out. You've got every single option in the interior, from the heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheel. It'd be kind of cool if they offer this like they do in the 1500, offered at a custom level, LT level, and maybe like LTZ or high country. Then you could get different price points. I think this is going to be a hit for a lot of people that are looking for a little bit bigger tire, a little bit of the look, but really not interested in an exotic ZR2 suspension. So anyhow, as this story develops and more information comes out, I'll be happy to share this with you guys. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you haven't turned your notifications on, feel free to do so if you find these videos insightful. Thanks for watching.